I advocate for a 256GB iPhone in 2024. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is it really enough though? Hold your thoughts, because here are my reasons. This video has a lot to do with the recent iPhone 16 Pro release, where I plan to buy one and I was really doing my best to research what is the best option for me to buy. A 512GB iPhone or a 256GB iPhone. Now, I am a freelancer. I do freelance cinematography, photography, and I plan to integrate my iPhone when I buy it into my workflow to match with my Sony A7 IV. So, knowing full well that I'm going to use my iPhone as one of my filmmaking tools, I had to really think about what option to make in terms of purchasing it. But the thing is, it's expensive. Storage on the iPhone is expensive. $200 for an extra 256GB. That's insane. So then I did research of those around me. Firstly, I checked my own storage consumption. I have an iPhone XR, which I'm still using. It's a 64GB iPhone XR that I bought years ago when I first entered university. And I consume about 56GB of storage on that. I know iPhone XR does not have RAW or ProRes, so that's why I do not use a lot of the storage on it. But then I went and checked my girlfriend's iPhone 13 Pro, and she used about 200GB of storage out of the 256GB it provides, and she's been using it ever since the iPhone 13 comes out. And then I went and asked my brother-in-law iPhone 15 Pro Max, which he has been using ever since the initial release of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and he still has about 100 plus of storage left. So it got me thinking, okay, I know that I plan to use it as one of my video creation tools, but do I really need to spend $200 plus for a 512GB iPhone? And bear in mind, I live in Cambodia, and in my country, we don't have Apple Store, so the authorized resellers are selling iPhones for a staggering price. An iPhone 16 Pro 512GB model can go as far as $1,700, and the 256GB model, the lowest I checked was $1,400. So I really had to make a financially wise choice. I don't want to waste money on storage where I could spend those money on, let's say, cinematography tool to add to my iPhone, like a VND or a grip, a better case, lens adapter, all of those kind of stuff to suit to my filmmaking needs. Provide context like earlier as well. What an amateur mistake. I recorded 2 videos in a row and realized that my mic ran out of battery afterward. So don't mind the background right now switching into night time, 12 AM. But yeah, it sucks. But anyway, as I was saying, 256GB iPhone is more than enough for people. And like I was saying as well, I plan to use the money that I would have spent on the storage, which is very expensive. iPhones in my country, for an extra 256GB, it can cost more than $200. And I can use that money to buy a 1TB storage, which can cost about $140. And I can use additional money, or all of those money, to buy a rig system for my iPhone, a lens adapter. I can use it to buy a case for the VND filter. A lot of other stuff can be exchanged for that extra amount of money. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier in the video, but there is this theory where people say that there's a law where your data will keep on expanding no matter how much you have. So you need to at least have a good amount so you don't have to worry about it. But for me, I think about it on the contrary. If data keep on expanding, instead of just having more space to store all of those data, why don't we be considerate with how we manage our storage? I think that is a much better way to sort of manage your storage and be efficient with it, rather than just having tons of storage which you spend a lot of money on, and then later on it's gonna be filled up anyway. So, in conclusion, I plan to use my iPhone as a cinematography tool in addition with my Sony A7 IV. And storage was a concern at first, but the more I dig into it, the more I feel like I can use my iPhone the way I use my camera, delete a video, airdrop to my laptop, and edit there. And as for everyday photos, I do not need to shoot RAW, I do not need to shoot ProRes, so I think my 256GB iPhone will be more than enough. So how about you guys? In my perspective, if you are casual users, just go for the 256GB. I don't think it's necessary to go beyond that, especially if it costs more than $200. If you are a user who plan on switching phones every year, still go for 256GB. 128, I would understand why you wouldn't want to buy that, but 256 going beyond that, I think it can be a bit overkill. Plus, like I said, you can literally buy 1000 gigabit of memory for less than $200. So yeah, I think that's a better way to go about doing things with iPhone, and I hope you guys understand my perspective. I just want to come here to share with you guys my perceptions, as I'm also going to buy a new iPhone as well, and I will be sharing with you guys how my workflow will be working with a 256GB iPhone. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's a bummer that the video, the audio didn't work, so I had to record again. But if you guys have anything that you want to ask or opinions you want to share, be sure to share them below. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, goodbye, and peace.